I've been getting a lot of questions about new construction lately, about the builders, pricing, if you can negotiate on prices, what's all included in the deal, and are the incentives really even worth it? So today I'm going to answer some of those questions, and we're going to do a deep dive into all things new construction in Northeast Florida. Talking builders, types of new construction, incentives, and some pros and cons. Whether you're buying today or you're just starting your research, I want you to walk away from this video with a clear understanding of what to expect if you do decide to go that new construction route. And that way you can make the best decision for you and your family. And make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to drop a little tip that, if used strategically, could possibly save you the most money and get you the best deal. All right, so let's talk new construction. So a new construction home is one that is either in the planning stages, it could be under construction, or it could even be completed. But no one has ever lived in the home, and so if you were to purchase that new construction home, you would be the first and original homeowner. Now, these homes are built by residential builders and many who specialize in production building. So depending on the builder, the customization, and even the level of finishes, they can all look pretty different. That's why before we move on to the types of new construction, it's important that we understand the difference in the builder levels, because that's going to set the tone for your whole home buying experience. There are typically 4 levels of builders that you'll come across in Northeast Florida, and what I'll do is I will break them down from entry level to luxury level. I'll include some prices, but keep in mind the ranges that I include can vary depending on community, location, and of course some upgrades. Okay, so your entry-level builders, these are going to be your most affordable builders, right? You're going to find them in larger, more standardized communities, and their focus is on delivering volume. So that means the homes will be built quicker with minimal customization. Now, if we are on the outskirts of Northeast Florida and some parts of Clay, your entry-level builders, you can find them in a range starting in the mid-300s going into the 400s. Now, if you move closer to the coastline in Duval County, as well as going into St. Johns County, you're going to find these entry-level builders starting in the mid-400s and going up. And some of the most common entry-level builders that you'll find across Northeast Florida are going to be your D.R. Horton, your Lennars, your KB Homes, and Adams Homes. These builders offer limited number of floor plans, minimal design flexibility, and most of the selections, like our countertops, flooring, and cabinetry, they might even be pre-packaged into different tiers, or what they call collections. These are going to be a great option for first-time homeowners or even investors who are looking to keep the costs low and simple timelines. For your mid-level builders, this will be your next step up from your entry-level builders. You'll still find some production-style building here, but probably with a little bit more flexibility, both in terms of layouts and as well as design selections. So these homes you're going to typically see in the range of anywhere from the mid-400s all the way to the 700s, just depending on builder and location, which I'll probably say a lot throughout this video. And some of the more common mid-level builders you'll find are going to be your Richmond American Homes, your Pulte, your Mattamy Homes, as well as Dreamfinders. Now, these builders do offer a wider selection of upgrades, and you'll most likely get to go to a design studio appointment. And at that appointment, you'll be able to choose your flooring, your cabinetry, lighting, and more. These builders are great for, home growing families or even relocation buyers who are wanting a little bit more flexibility with their design options, a more polished product, but without going full luxury. So our high-end builders. So this is where we start seeing builders who are offering more architectural details, maybe some larger lots, or more flexibility with your structural options, and even premium design packages. These builders, you'll see the price ranges typically between $700 to $1.2, possibly even more, right? Again, location, community, and builder type. The more common high-end builders you'll see in this area are going to be ICI Homes, you'll see Toll Brothers, and David Weekley. These builders will often build in amenity-rich or lifestyle-driven communities, and they'll appeal to executive relocation buyers, move-up buyers, or those who are just looking for a semi-custom build without going full custom. Now we made it to our luxury and our custom builders. So once you get here, this is where the builders take your vision and turn it into a reality. Most of the builders in this category. They might be fully custom or they could be semi-custom, but they'll be built on larger lots and they'll involve a little bit more hands-on during the design process. So you'll see price ranges typically in the 800s and go well into the 2 millions depending on location and finishes. And some of the custom builders that you'll find in our area are going to be your Riverside Homes, your Dosty Homes, your AR Homes, your Mastercraft Builder Group, as well as other local custom on your lot builders. Now, this is a great option for those who are building their forever home or who just want a lot more control on the design process. Just be prepared for longer timelines, more decisions, and most likely some custom contracts. So now that we know the different types of builders in terms of pricing and their experience, now let's talk about the first of the two major types of new construction homes that you'll see. The first being inventory homes. You'll also see these called quick move-ins, ready now homes, or even spec homes. Now, an inventory home, now these are homes that are already in production and some could actually already be completed, but they have not been sold yet. There is no contract on them. There is no homeowner. With these houses, the builder has chosen everything: the floor plan, the exterior elevation, the colors, the cabinetry, the flooring, the hardware, the lighting, all of it. You will not be going to the design studio appointment for an inventory home. Most of the time, especially with entry-level builders and mid-level builders, once a home has entered the construction stages, then it's locked in and no changes can be made. Now, why do builders do this? Builders do this because they want to streamline the construction process and they want to control the build time as well as cost. And what they'll do is they will pre-plan these homes based off of their most popular design packages and finishes, and then they'll build them in batches. So that way they're always ahead of the sales cycle. Now, some of these are framed and 60 days from completion, and then some are 100% complete and sitting on the market. So let's talk about the benefits, because there are definitely a lot of advantages to going this route, especially in today's market. A first benefit is going to be your faster move-in timeline. Now, maybe you've toured a lot of resale homes and nothing is just hitting the spot. Nothing out there is anything that you like. Or maybe you just want a brand new home and you want to be the original homeowner, but without the hassle of waiting 7 to 10 months for a complete build out time. So these are going to be ideal if you're relocating for a job, you're trying to time out the sale of your current home, or just need something a little bit more predictable. Now, the next one is going to be better leverage on negotiation. And here's the part that people are always shocked by. Yes, you can negotiate the price on a new construction home, especially an inventory one. Think about it. If the home is already finished and the builder has already moved on to the next round of construction, then the builder is just carrying those costs at that point. And they're going to be motivated to move this house, to sell it and get it off of their books. If that home has been sitting for 45 days, 60 days, even 90 days, just sitting on the market, the builder is much more likely to offer incentives, price reductions, or even freebies just to help move it. I've personally negotiated things like blinds, screened-in patios, gutters, washer, dryer packages, refrigerators. Those things aren't always included in a new construction home. And of course, even partial closing cost coverage or all of the closing costs. These are thousands of dollars in real value, and they make a really big difference when you're moving into a brand new home. Another benefit is it's easier to coordinate a contingency. If you're selling your current home or you're relocating from out of state, having a known move-in date is such an advantage. Inventory homes give you something tangible to work around, not a 10-month construction timeline that could be delayed by permitting, weather, or even supply chain issues. Now, of course, with some advantages and benefits, there's always some cons to it as well. So now let's talk about the downside, because inventory homes aren't for everyone. And the biggest drawback is that you do not get to design it. If you're someone who has your heart set on choosing the perfect quartz slab, cabinet color, flooring layout, then this route may just get very frustrating for you. Because once a home hits a certain stage in the construction process, usually drywall or framework, then there's absolutely no going back. That said, you always have the option to customize after you close on the home. You can add your backsplash later, upgrade the lighting, replace the hardware. change out the mirrors even. But the builder won't make changes once they've started, and definitely not if the home has already finished. So if design control is a deal breaker for you, then you might want to lean a little bit more towards a to-be-built home. And we'll talk about that in the next section. But if you're looking for fast, flexible, and potentially negotiable home experience, an inventory home might just be the best kept secret in this market. When you're building from the ground up, the first thing that you'll do is you'll select a lot. And now not all lots are created equal. While some lots may be standard or interior facing, there are many lots that may have unique features like a preserve or a pond view, could be on a corner lot, maybe you have no rear neighbors, maybe you are positioned on a cul-de-sac. These premium lots are going to be more desirable, and because of that, they are going to come with what we call a lot premium. A lot premium is basically an upcharge for the location and the features of the lot you choose. And yes, these premiums can vary widely depending on the builder and the community. With entry-level builders, these premiums can start at as little as $5,000. With higher end or custom builders, that premium could be $50,000, $80,000, or you may see lots that even cost $130,000. So it's something that you'll want to factor in early when you're calculating your total purchase price. Now, before I move on, I want to mention something important here. So depending on the builder, especially those that are in much tighter, smaller lot communities, there may be some restrictions that prevent some floor plans from sitting on which lots. So for example, a single-story home may require a much wider lot than, say, a two-story home. And then a two-story home may not be able to sit next to another two-story home that has the same elevation. Or just may have rules in place to prevent duplicate homes from just sitting side by side. This is pretty common with entry-level and mid-level builder communities, and it's all about lot fit, elevation variety, and just overall neighborhood aesthetics. So the main thing is don't be surprised if you find the lot that you've just fallen in love with, but the floor plan that you love as well just won't work there. So now next, once you have selected your lot and you've confirmed your floor plan, the next step is going to be deciding your structural options. Your structural options are going to include things such as extended lanais or patios, added bedrooms, flex spaces or bonus rooms, upgraded bathroom layouts, tray ceilings, extended garages, and more. These options must be chosen before you sign the contract because they directly impact the home's foundation and permitting plans. After those selections are finalized and the contract is signed, your initial purchase price will reflect the base price of the floor plan, the lot premium, and the structural upgrades you've selected. Then this is where it gets fun because you'll move on to the design center appointment. Now, the design center is where you get to personalize your home. You'll choose flooring, cabinets, countertops, tile and grout colors, faucets and fixtures, lighting packages, and all the fun cosmetic upgrades that truly make the home yours. But let me say this clearly, not every builder offers the same level of customization. Some builders, even in the mid-level range, may only allow you to pick from pre-selected design packages, but others may offer full studio appointments with hundreds of options available. It really just depends on the builder's level, the community, and the timeline that they're working with. Now, before we move forward, I do want to clear up some common misconception I see with buyers who are browsing online. They'll call me and say,
Cat, I just sold this brand new home for only $375,000. Why is it so much cheaper than everything else you've shown me?
well, let me explain. Because what you're probably seeing online is the base price of the floor plan. And that's just the shell of the home. That doesn't include a lot, any structural options, any design upgrades, and definitely no refrigerator, blinds, or washer and dryer. So when you're looking online and comparing prices, you want to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples because a $375,000 home can easily become a $500,000 home once everything is factored in. So let's talk about the benefits of to-be-built homes because there's definitely a lot of benefits to them. So what are the benefits of a to-be-built home? Those will include full customization. I mean, you get to choose everything from the floor plan to the finishes and everything in between. Flexibility and timeline. If you're not in a rush or you need to move for another 6 to 12 months, then this can actually work in your favor. Most to be built homes take anywhere from 7 to 12 months, depending on the builder and the size of the home. You're the first person and only person who's lived in the home, and it is built just for you. So let's talk about some potential cons or trade-offs. Build time delays. While things are definitely moving faster and smoother now than they were during 2021, 2022, there's always a possibility of delays. I had one custom build that was delayed for 4 months just because of permit holdups. And then I had another one that was held up because of appliances were back ordered for weeks. So if you do have a hard deadline or a strict relocation timeline, just be prepared to be flexible. Even if things are not where they were in 2021 and 2022, you just always want to make sure that you plan ahead. Less incentive flexibility. Builders are typically less generous with incentives on to-be-built homes because they know that you've already committed to a longer timeline and more customization. So they feel a little less pressure to sweeten the deal. Now, with that said, and it's an important one, in today's market, I'm actually seeing more incentives than usual, even on to-be-built homes. Builders are still recovering from a slower spring market earlier this year, and many of them are trying to fill their future pipeline before the end of the year. And now that brings us to the next part of this video. Let's talk about builder incentives, what they actually offer, which ones are worth it, and how to spot when a deal isn't really a deal. So let's talk about builder incentives, because over the last couple of years, this is where buyers have really found opportunity in a tough market. As we know, interest rates have been much higher lately than what we were used to seeing before. And when that happens, depending on the area, we typically see one of two things. Either prices start to come down slightly, or they just level out and stabilize. Now, at the same time, when rates are higher, a lot of buyers choose to sit still. And that pause creates a window for the serious buyers or those who have to move. And it's in those windows that builders start offering more flexibility, more incentives, and in many cases, better deals than what you see in the resale market. So let's break down the most common incentives that we're seeing builders offering right now. Closing cost assistance. So some builders are covering some or all of your closing costs, which could save you thousands out of pocket at the closing table. Rate buydowns. This is a big one lately. Builders are offering to buy down your mortgage rate, which can make your monthly payment significantly lower. Design center credits. If you're building from the ground up, some builders are offering $10,000 to $25,000 or more in free upgrades just for choosing to build with them. Flex cash. This is basically money you can apply however you want towards rate buydowns, closing costs, design upgrades, or even off the purchase price. Now, it's important to know that in order to receive these incentives that the builders are offering, it's typically required of the buyer to use the builder's lenders. Now, why, you may ask? Well, the builder and the lender have a working relationship together. And they're working together on dozens, hundreds of transactions, and that gives them both some leverage. The builder benefits because their financing process becomes smoother. And the lender benefits because they're getting consistent business from the builder. For you as the buyer, that can mean special rate programs and access to incentives. But it also means that you'll want to compare quotes to make sure it still makes financial sense for you. One reason so many of my buyers are turning to new construction is because the resale market simply just can't compete in this area. When you're buying from a homeowner, they might not be able to afford to give you anything. They may have limited equity or just aren't willing to make any repairs, and especially just can't afford to cover your closing costs. But a builder can say,
"Hey, we'll give you $10,000 towards your rate, or we'll cover your closing costs, or we'll throw in blinds, a refrigerator. Oh, what about a new washer and dryer?"
Well, that's a huge advantage, especially for buyers who are dealing with higher prices and already higher interest rates. For example, let's just say that the builder is giving you $25,000 to go towards your design center credit. That means that whenever you go to your design center appointment and select your upgrades, let's just say that you decide to choose $80,000 worth of upgrades. Well, the builder is going to then credit you $25,000. And yes, trust me, you're going to use every penny of that. It just adds up fast. You'll see tile samples, upgraded cabinets, soft close cabinets, backsplash patterns, and it's like being a kid in a candy store. So that design center credit, yes, it goes a long way. Now I want to talk about something that I bring up a lot with my buyers. It's the idea of how to best use your incentives. So let's just say that the builder gives you $10,000. Some buyers immediately say,
"Can we take it off the purchase price?"
but what they don't really realize is that when you take $10,000 off of the purchase price, you're only really saving anywhere from $70, $80 a month, depending on your loan and your rate. However, if you take that same $10,000 and you put it towards a rate buy down, that rate buy down can save you anywhere from $150 to $200, even more, on your monthly payment. Or you could use it towards your closing costs. And in that way, you're getting more cash or having to spend less cash out of your pocket and you have more money in your pocket. That's why it's so important to have someone who understands all of the options in front of you, because the way you apply your incentives can really affect your bottom line. So in summary, builder incentives can make a huge difference. And when used strategically, they can help you afford more, keep more cash on hand, or even bring your payment down to something a little bit more manageable. But you just have to look beyond the sticker price and understand where the real value is. All right, so I know that was a lot to listen through, but like I promised at the beginning of this video, the number one tip that can help you get the absolute best deal possible with your new construction home is proper representation. Now, that doesn't mean to just use any realtor to represent you in your new construction purchase, but it means using a realtor who is familiar with the local builders, one who knows which questions to ask and isn't afraid to negotiate on your behalf. Now, my team and I, we work with a lot of the top builders in St. Johns County and Northeast Florida. And because we are consistently bringing them business, provide exposure through our clients, through our social media and our content, these builders want to take care of us. And most importantly, they want to take care of our clients. So over time, we've built such great relationships with the sales reps, these builders, and these communities. And oftentimes, they're the ones reaching out to us with their new incentives, their price reductions, or even spec homes that have not even been released to the public yet. So yes, I would say that having the right representation can absolutely affect what you walk away with, bottom line, when it's all said and done. The best part, the builder pays our commission, not you. So you're getting a dedicated advocate who is in your corner looking out for your best interest at no cost, who's helping you navigate through the process from contract to closing. So whether you're looking to move right now or you're just starting your research, if you're looking to go the new construction route, I would love to help you. I speak with buyers like you every week, some who are relocating from out of state, families who are upsizing into a new build, and some first-time homebuyers who are still trying to decide whether or not now is the right time. I will leave my contact information in the description below. Feel free to call or text me. You can email me, download my relocation guide, or you can even schedule a 15-minute consultations. That way I can get to know you and what you are looking for in your next home. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so that way you can get updates anytime I post anything new and exciting in St. Johns County or for Northeast Florida. I'll see you in the next one.